Welcome back, folks. Today is the second day of May. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Well, let's get started. We're going to have a market recap. We're going to look at four different markets. We're going to look at the ES, and which is the S&P. We're also going to look at the micro minis for the Nasdaq. We're going to take a peek at gold, and we're also going to take a peek at oil. Those are the four markets that I try to watch consistently. So let's begin. Let me clear some of this stuff out here because I'm going to clear all my drawings, draw everything back up fresh for the week. Let's begin with the ES or the S&P minis. Like we had a good run there. I have the value profile. I have the value on this chart, and I do have the Williams percent range on the chart as well. I like those particular indicators from time to time. But let's mark up this chart, and let's first begin with what happened on Friday. So we're going to mark the high of the day, and that's going to be we have a daily high, and then we're going to mark the daily low, and I should have a template for that. The daily low. Okay, so we have obviously we've been in a bull run for the last week. Today is the 2nd of May, but we're just going to start with that one candle. And if you look at the wick on this candle, we're getting a pull back or rejection from the all-time high. It pulled back quite a bit. Let me lock this because I don't want those to move when I start moving around the charts here. So now we're looking at the daily low, the daily high, and let's see what was we ranging. What did that day produce in terms of price? 61. 84%, 244, 6 bars, 8 days, volume 8 million, 8.6 million. Okay, so let me redo this just to double check inside and run here to here. And now we have a little different reading 59.7, 83%, 239, 1 bar, 1 day, volume at 1 million. Okay, so that's where the ES ended up at. We're going to get to the settlement prices here where it closed at, and from what I'm seeing here, I'm expecting a gap down on Sunday. Could be wrong, but that's just my quick assessment just from the wicks and the tail. Okay, so all right, so let's break this down a little further to the 4-hour chart. Reset that so we can get it centered here. Okay, so as I mentioned, expecting this to be a little further downwards. Uh, Looking to retest this area here. We have a basically on the 1 hour you're going to see a bearish engulfing candle on the 1 hour, but we do have a dark cloud cover. We have a 2 candle pullback here. We went up. This could be a 2 candle pullback. Let me get rid of something here. I have an indicator I want to remove. Okay, so I wanted to remove the VWAP indicator. I see we do have this volume imbalance being refilled. Uh, I'm going to annotate this area here, which is a 4-hour 4 hour. Okay, so I'm just going to add it in. I thought I had one in here though. 4 hour fair value gap slash inversion fair value gap. I don't want it there. I want it in this middle. Inside, I'm going to bring up the, make it a little bigger, make it bold. 4 hour, let's make the 4 hour darker gray. And then we're going to lock that here. So we're going to lock that 4 hour fair value gap. So it looks like we can go down to the halfway point of that if we wanted to. We're going to mark this candle low, lock it back there, kind of fine tune this a little bit. So we may have an area of interest here. I'm going to label this volume imbalance down here, all the way down here, and I'm going to label that. This is Wednesday the 6th, so we'll take everything to a Wednesday midweek. Okay, I'll do that. See this volume imbalance here. I'm going to lock that. That lets me know price. Well, you can there offer sell side there, but it may return. Okay, so we're looking at. I'm going to pull a fib here, right below this impulse bar. Lock that fib there. We haven't retraced to the 50 or the 625 yet. That might be a entry point in this area. If we're going to continue bullish, if we break structure here and this becomes a inverted fair value gap, we mustn't see it close above this area here to continue the downward momentum. If I used a standard Fibonacci instead of my custom one here, let's go to the standard. Apply default. And where would that lead us? Pretty close at the 23. The other one I have customized is just an eighth. This one I want to see what the standard one looks like. So we have our optimum trade entry in this area. If it's going to continue bullish with a deeper pullback, let's remove that. Let's break it down to the hour. Reset that. Okay, so we have to 375. If I was to go short here, I would start pulling out or removing positions at the 625 at 7200 area. If I were to go short, if I was bearish, let's go to the 30-minute. Reset this. Pretty much the same thing, but we know where price has been. This is an all-time high. It's pulling back. We went beyond the quarter already. We do have a wick here. It closed, so that let me know there's a pretty strong bounce from this order block here. Okay, if that can hold, our next PD arrays are these areas, probably targeting these lows just below the 625. 15-minute chart, reset that. We have the same look. You see that wick bounce? It closed bullish on the 15-minute chart. Let's go down to the 1-minute chart and reset that here. Here you see that same wick. We have in a 2-candle pullback. It's probably going to target these relatively equal highs here. gonna internal buy side liquidity there. Let's lock that. It may come up to retest that, or it may not. But you would have a plan A and a plan B, and we have the daily low here. We came off the all-time high here, so it did make some movements to the downside. So on the smaller time frame, we are indeed bearish. 58 handles there, and we do have some downside here that we can go to. I see some relatively equal highs here, lows here. It's going to be internal sell side liquidity there, and I'll lock that. Now, so that's ES for the week coming of Sunday the 3rd through Friday the 8th on the ES. And it's quite similar to this week, it seems. The NASDAQ and the ES, they're correlating pairs. So as we break that one down, we should see it look quite similar. In fact, let's do that now. And we have the NQ right here. So let's open that up. Get rid of some of these indicators. Reset this chart. Start from the daily. Well, I guess I could have stayed there and then worked my way backwards. But again, similar to the ES, these two are typically pairs that work together as sisters, so to speak, like twins. So we have a new high, a daily high. Let's lock that. Then we have our daily low. Just like the ES, these two pairs or markets tend to move the same. And where is that? Daily high, daily low. There we go. There's your daily low. Let's lock that in. Now again, we're going to break it down to the 4-hour time frame. Try to take a different look. Come on, computer. You can go anytime you want to. There you go. Reset that. Again, this is similar to interesting candle pattern right there. We have that doji there in the middle. That tells me we may be going a little lower. And I'll bring that over to the other side here in a minute. But what I want to do is identify that particular candle pattern. Because that lets me know we might be coming back down, going after these lows here. This would be an area of interest to be watching this week. And we say we was going to take that to the 3rd, so let's not stem that out. And that's an area of interest. And to give you some of the standard quick look. And so here we go. Oh, I won't let you. And with this particular candle doji, it's really kind of bullish. Is what I'm seeing here. Um, and if I were to pull a fib from this swing level to that swing level here, I'll take it from this swing low to this swing high. I'll use my base with measurements, lock it in. And if it pulls back a little further, maybe to the 50, we could project it up to 28,212, 2815, that area. That's on the 4 hour. Yeah, let's go down into here. So we're getting a little consolidation here. And putting these two candles together as if it was a 2 hour candle. Do I have it? I don't think I have a 2 hour feature on this one. No, I don't. My other platform. So that's what we're here. So I probably would put a limit buy order down here at the 50. And also in the middle of this two here. Um, and anticipate this going higher next week. Oh, tomorrow, Sunday. So we're just getting a different, tighter look. We have three candles here, which is a good sign, because typically the fourth candle is going to be a bullish closing candle. But we have to watch that and see how that plays out. Be patient. Now our makeshift, our anchor 15-minute chart is a very good chart to see because it gives you a better view of everything. We have more than just three down closed candles here. We actually have six. And we are approaching a double bottom here with the wicks. It seems like it's been there more than once actually. So if I take this bullish one to that bearish one here, that would be a triple bottom, right? Typically a triple bottom is a continuation pattern, so I'm expecting this to go. I'm expecting it to go higher to take out the all-time highs, but we'll see how we're going to open up. And we're going to go down to the 1 minute chart and see where we settled at on Friday. All right, so we have our settlement price at closing on Friday. Here's our settlement price low. Here, and then we have our settlement price high here. And let's see if I can find that settlement price. Settlement price. I thought I had settlement price in here. Why isn't it in here? Here it is. Regular trading hours settlement price. But this, in this case, is going to be electronic trading hours. So So I'm going to use this, but change this real fast from regular trading hours to electronic trading hours and make a template for that. Because there is a difference. Copy, a little bit bigger, template, save as electronic trading hours, settlement price, high, then I'm going to change this to low. And just in case you don't create templates like this, the reason why I do it is to identify different areas and more importantly, to help me remember. Uh, to help me remember. It's something you don't have to do. It's completely up to you. Every trader has their own preference. Um, and if you don't know what settlement prices are, it's just where price closed at the end of the day after all the trading was done. So as I look at the previous candle, obviously we're in the downtrend, right? We're in a downtrend. It wicked way down here near the previous low, which is these double lows here, triple lows here, relatively equal. Not perfectly equal, but relatively equal. The one that's really in play is this one, not the first one. Um, so it's a little room down here, but it's not a lot. And it doesn't not have to go there. And let's see how many pushes downward we had. We had a big push here. And if I was to take this back bullish, because we still are in a bullish trend, I would be looking at making a Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high. And if we have a pullback up into, well, I guess I would do the other direction. If I flip this around and reverse it, it'll look something different. From this zero line back up here to the 50 or 625 area, if we pulls back, that is one strategy I call the order flow strategy. All these orders, your order blocks, your bullets and golfings, I only see two fair value gaps. But a further downward push is potentially for next week on this one. And then a possible reversal, I would be looking at that. And so that's the NQ for next week. Now let's take a peek at gold and then oil over here. So let's take a peek at gold. Let's start off on the daily. We're on the daily. We didn't have a lot of movement on gold last week. For Friday, but excuse me, I meant to say Friday. Let me get rid of this blue line in the middle, and that is an indicator I don't want to see. Get rid of all the indicators. So we have our settlement price on electronic settlement price high, settlement price low. I'm going to, and that's also the high and low of the day. We're going to dig down a little deeper, see what price is doing. We have to be aware of this area down here. Come and retest these lows. And we have to be aware of, I'm going to say this fair value gap high right here. And that's on the 4 hour. So let me make this a 4 hour fair value gap. Four-hour fair value gap. It's not bullish. It's actually bearish. Well, let me just go in here and create it bearish. And then I'm gonna make that a little bigger. And then I'm gonna change the color to a reddish type color. Then I'm gonna save this because I don't think I had a 4-hour saved. And then if there's a duplicate, it's just a duplicate. Okay. Alright, so looking at this, we tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap, rejected price off that. Look like this might be going down a little lower. Coming to retest this low, and these lows. Let's see what it looks like on the hour. Any reversals in the hour? Reset that. I don't see a reversal in the hour yet. Coming off the double top, reject the price there. We have another fair value gap here. This is on the 1 hour. This is a fair value gap, which is bearish on the 1 hour. What happened to the other one? So let's see. A 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, let's lock that. And then let's look at, oh, now the 1 hour and the 4 hour together. Wow, okay. Okay, so it looks like on the 30 minutes, we might have a $3 reversal here with a small little fair value gap in here. Inside another fair value gap. Back to our anchor chart, 15 minutes. Looks like we touched that here. We have this area of interest here. I'd like to see what price does around here again, because this is a bullish order block here with this wick. So we might come and test that again. So I would be thinking about this being bullish, watching this area. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at three different things here. What I'm looking at is just order flow from here to here. And this gives me our 50% range. So we're in a discount here if we continue to go bullish, because on a daily time frame, the higher time frame, this is gold. This is gold. So I'm thinking of, yes, I'm glad I checked. This is bearish, right? I think this is going to go down lower to check these to come back into this area here, kind of retest these lows, this area. So I will be looking at shorts on gold. So gold came up to 46.72 futures. I'm expecting it probably to come back down to retest. So this is, it's not an all-time high. The all-time high is 47. So that'll be a one to trade early in the morning. If I look at this dealing range from here to here, you know, we've already hit the 50% there. So you got to be in the markets if you're going to trade. If you have a strategy to bounce off the 50 and you're bullish, this is be an optimal trade entry area. These two zones, these two price levels here. The 4600 is a good zone too. We do have a strong impulse move off this leg. So this area, this bearish candle, be an area to watch. If it comes down to almost to the 80, so you have a deeper retracement. You're at the 50 already. So anywhere in here, if you want to go long, uh, would be good because we have lower highs. I mean, the higher lows. This low, these lows are higher than that low. This low is higher than that low. So that lets me know that our momentum is going upward. And some people like to use trend lines. Just going to show you. I don't use trend lines like that often, but I do use. This should be in here. That should be in here. Where is? Where is it? This is up here. Yeah, parallel lines. So, in a larger scheme of things, I would do something like this. What happened? This one. This. And bring it out to here. And if I brought it all the way down to here, kind of give you an idea. So if price comes pulls back to this area, it'd be a good area to, put some limit orders in. And that's on our 15 minutes down to our 1 minute chart as we look at gold. Reset this chart. But I would be a short-term bear inside of a long-term bias of bullish bias. So, uh, what am I saying by that? Well, I'm saying I would probably sell with a tight stop and get out at these double bottoms over here and look for reversals to the upside with a target of this, and of course this previous high. So that's gold outlook for the week. Let's pop into this crazy world of crude oil. Remove all the indicators. Let's go to a daily chart. Let that reset. Reset that. Oh, okay. So this is crazy oil. All right, so we have a two candle pullback. Let's identify some highs here. Have some highs over here. Lows over here I'll be watching. So we're inside that range. We're at the top of the range. This volume imbalance has been filled. We have higher highs. Still a higher high. This will be one to watch. And let's get this candle's high and this candle's low. Kind of see how it is when we get down into the trenches here. Wait on you, computer. Waiting on you, computer. What are you doing? Okay, there we go. Took a little while for that to set. Push you back over here. So you see the bigger, larger range. If I were to put a fib on this, coming from this swing low to that swing high, if I want to go short, I'll go short down to the 625, the 5, and go back upwards. Within this range, we're kind of close. We're still in the premium. And that's the area where you want to sell. So my thoughts would be to sell this a little lower, only because of this order flow. We haven't taken out this high, so these two highs are still in play. Uh, we're getting a sign of a reversal here on the 4 hour. But let's go dig down deeper, because that 4 hour reversal could look completely different in a different time frame. All right, so we're spooling higher. We know what that daily range is right here from the bottom here to the low here. This is our high of the day. The day high. Here's our day low. Day low. Let's lock those. So we're coming off the daily high. We're pushing down. We still have higher lows, lower highs. Classic trading pattern. Classic. See this all the time. If you become a trader, I'm gonna lock these. That was locked already. So I anticipate this going up a little higher and then coming back down into this area here to retest some of these lows. Maybe these lows here to retest right under the 50. Possible bounce. Gonna have to watch that to see what it looks like on the 15 minutes. Reset this. It's going to be interesting this Sunday, Monday. And this is crude oil coming off a high of 110.92. It's been higher than that. It was as high as 114.10. So it is lower. This volume has been reclaimed. And so, I anticipate this being a bearish week in oil. We have our reversal, break of structure, change of character. So it might pull back and go back down some more. We'll see how that plays out. It's still up to the 1 minute. Reset. Seeing higher lows, a double top, rejected from there, pulled back. If I'm looking at this for a scalp, we're in a premium, so I'm still looking to sell in the premium. It's got to break character though, so if it does a change of character, if it breaks this low, then I would definitely go short down to the 50 or the 625 or even the 75, which would be reclaiming some of this area here before it makes another move. But you have to be cautious because if I were to look at this, some people call this bullish because they see it like trading in this range. But then you have other people calling it bearish because they see it in that range. So you have to pick your side. And my side would be bearish. We have a double bottom here, pull back. It almost went to 100% pullback, rejected that. So that's just my outlook. Let's see how it plays out next week. Remember, trade small, protect your assets first. And please like, subscribe, share a friend. And join me in my live trading room. Kevin Garrett with Top Down Traders.